Drug makers and distributors accused of fueling America's opioid crisis will be in federal court in Cleveland next week. They are trying to negotiate a settlement as they face hundreds of lawsuits and potentially dozens more from the states. Producer Laura Strickler and correspondent Julianna Goldman looked into the maneuvering that's taking place behind the scenes.
Now I can enjoy every day that I live. I can really enjoy myself.
That was the message to 15,000 primary care doctors in 1998 from Big Pharma, the company that made $35 billion from the sales of the painkiller OxyContin.
The rate of addiction amongst pain patients who are treated by doctors is much less than 1%.
The company says it corrected its marketing and pled guilty to misbranding in 2007. But Ohio's Attorney General Mike DeWine says the company continued deceptive marketing through 2014.
It is very addictive, and the drug companies knew that, and they lied about it.
In May, DeWine sued Purdue and 4 other drug companies. Purdue recently tried to persuade DeWine to drop Ohio's lawsuit and negotiate instead.
There's a lot at stake for them, and so they've been very aggressive. They've lawyered up. They have hired lobbyists.
It's a high-stakes, behind-the-scenes campaign to try and reduce potential damages. Donations from drug companies to political associations for state AGs have risen in the past 3 years, totaling almost $700,000 to Democrats and over $1.7 million to Republicans. The contributions are legal, but they allow companies to gain access to the AGs at exclusive meetings, golf outings, and high-end dinners, where they can urge AGs not to sue.
I think it's very problematic.
Professor Paul Nolet is a state government expert.
Those under investigation trying to influence the investigator by giving large amounts of money, they're not doing so out of the goodness of their heart or out of charity.
Opioid manufacturers and distributors spent over $100,000 to partially sponsor this meeting in San Francisco.
Well, that was really something else, the opening dinner last night.
Last year at a dinner at this Georgia resort, top corporate donors even got preferred seating with attorneys general. And at a meeting at this Oregon hotel last spring, 2 opioid companies who had given the Democratic AG Association a combined $65,000 got to speak on a panel and told a group that they were not responsible for the opioid crisis, according to several attendees. While there are nationwide rules for congressional lobbyists, there aren't any when it comes to lobbying state AGs. Those lobbyists don't have to say how much they're being paid or who they're meeting with.
There's going to be real questions about whether that money ended up influencing how the AGs conducted their settlement.
Both the Republican and Democratic AG associations told us it's important they hear from a wide variety of voices, including advocacy groups. Purdue Pharma declined our request for an on-camera interview, but said they're deeply troubled by the opioid crisis and are committed to working collaboratively to help solve it. Jeff?
To Julianna and Laura, thank you both for that reporting tonight.